we go to the stars first, that kind of stuff.
Mm. Yeah, it's crazy. We know more about space than we do about the water, oceans, right?
Yeah, and we're
Oh, is
hoping
that
to
true?
change that.
Oh, wow. Space is so big. How do we know more about space than our own ocean?
Well, I mean, it covers like 80% of our planet. There's a lot to it. Um, just as much though. We had a lot of equipment back in LC that we were able to operate with. We had a fleet of submarines, and each of them could hold 4 people. So it
Oh,
was pretty
wow.
nice. We'd send out crews of people. Uh, the cost, though, was out the window for that department. I mean, $1 million a submarine, it was insane. We were looking at getting a larger, I guess, not decommissioned, but de weaponized Russian submarine called the Kasatka, the Whale. It could house a crew of 30 people and they could live at the ocean floor. And we'd be able to do explorations for months at a time instead of just going out for the day.
Crazy.
Yeah. But that's just where we're trying to be with this lab here. We're trying to provide the same opportunities for people, whether it's something as bizarre as do you want to live in the ocean and see what that's like, or if you just want to help stuff out on the surface here. It's not just researchers or innovators, it's explorers too.
Well,
Did you guys get
huh.
anywhere with the device that I had discussed with you guys for DWIs?
The breathalyzer?
Yeah.
So we have that all finished and ready to go. It's just we got to sit down with PD on that one and have them actually use ours because the same old discussion has been had, and I've heard this from the PD side where, we have a breathalyzer at the station. We can just use that. I'm like, no, I want there to be field equipment that officers can carry around just as much as I want to make portable radio equipment for police officers so they can use it while they walk around. Um, both of those are just as
I do
crucial, I
always like
think.
this concept that
Well,
humane
wait,
labs
is
will.
that something new that they have?
That's something that
Uh,
we're talking to police about, but
okay, but
yeah.
you said that they said they already have one.
Well, yeah, they say that they have one at the station, but it seems like it's a stationary
Okay.
device. Like it doesn't move, it's just
Uh,
there. I want to
okay.
create an actual technology like we were talking about that could be
Yeah.
used on the field, on the fly. But just as much, the same thing is being talked about with radios because police are already talking to some other company about getting this radio in their squad car. That if they're in a certain distance of it, they can use their radio like a transceiver. Um,
Hmm.
we were talking about doing the
Oh,
same thing, but not having such a limited range, really offering proper equipment to people in the city.
Nice.
Is someone standing out there? Or am I seeing things?
oh, that's not my block. Someone on that. Oh, is that Gretchen? Oh, I think it's
Yes.
Gretchen.
Picking up
Hello.
some signs. Hello.
Nice. All right, yeah, in like 2 minutes we'll start the tour.
Okay.
But yeah, I was kind of. You said you've never gotten the tour before. I felt like I'd given y'all one, but Gretchen informed me that I had not, so it was just one of those things I thought of.
No, we talked about it several times, and then either my legal stuff came up, and we had to sidetrack, and yeah, we keep getting it postponed, but we've been wanting to for a long time now.
Well, I'm glad we're finally getting it squared away. Sorry for the delay.
Yeah, me too. No, it's not the kid guys, Dad. It's our busy schedules.
Yeah, that sure goes both ways too, because we had to take time off in order to focus on this humane stuff. Just can't do both. There's a crisis every day in PD.
Tell me about it. Right. Yeah.
I think Gretchen and I both really appreciate the time we've been taking off. We've been going on vacations, just seeing the world, having a good
That's
time when
good.
we're back here. Yeah.
Good. You guys deserve it.
Plus, we were able to look at houses as well,
Mm-hmm.
like everybody else.
Right. Hot new thing right now.
Oh yeah. It's about time we got a place. We've been going to each other's apartments for too long. I basically live in
Uh-huh.
Alta Street, even though my residency is in Toledo.
So did you got settled in yet in your house?
No, there was an issue with it, so
Oh,
we're
Oh,
still
no.
waiting on the realtor to try to fix certain issues. It's not even bought yet. Like they informed us of things that are not working, so they're trying to work it out with the construction crew.
Yeah.
You are settled in? Do you have a home?
yeah.
Oh, yep. Up in Vinewood Hills.
Good
Ooh,
spot.
very lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right on the top of Milton Street. Love it. It's great. Great view.
No, we're hoping to we're mostly I don't say by now. 2/3 way done decorating, but once we get it all set up, we're hoping to throw some nice housewarming parties and whatnot. It's like everyone else is. We're gonna have like a week of housewarming parties by the sound of it.
Isn't the judge also living somewhere there?
He is. Yes, he is. Kimball Street.
Ah,
He's
gotcha.
over there. So
Fucking
yeah.
Harris. I love him.
And then Dr.
He
Bridges is our
likes it.
neighbor.
He wants me to give him a tour of the lab as
Ooh,
well.
Bridges?
Mhm.
Did you say
What up?
Dakota Bridges?
Yep.
Ah, gotcha. So everybody's living in Vinewood, I guess.
We're in the
guess so.
fallout zone though. That's not safe.
Oh, now
Wait.
you tell us.
Awesome.
You guys
now
are
you
in.
tell.
You're in the bowl. Like if they drop missiles on cities and they hit, Los Santos, you guys are right where the end of the fireball goes. You know. Like at least in Toledo, you have a shot to get on a boat. You fuck off.
Well, let's just hope it doesn't.
2 jetpacks,
happen.
please. If you're selling.
Dude,
that is a good idea.
That's
Here,
not
pass-
bad,
pass-
actually.
pass the
Yeah.
jetpacks, yeah.
There you go. I'm full of them. If you
You're
need
hired.
an ideas person, I'm full of them.
Yes.
I mean,
You're
you tell me, Gretchen. Should I show them?
Well, let's see. Maybe put that as the last thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see how the justice beats.
We'll get you through the main tour first, and then we'll show you a
Yes.
fun little project.
Oh, I hear something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I hear some.
Oh,
Oh, that's her without the Sasquatch.
She got herself a vagrant.
Athena's interested in working at Humane with us.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hello.
I thought that.
I did. It's quite nice.
Yeah, I heard you
I'm
said
sorry
that.
for delaying. I
Oh,
received a
yeah.
couple pagers, so I just know that people might be on their way now.
Oh, you're fine. We were worried they were gonna hold everyone up, so we're happy we made it.
No,
One
it's okay.
bit.
Do
Yeah.
you need anything to eat or drink in the meantime? You good?
I'm good, thank you.
How about you, Casey?
I'm fine, thank you.
You Athena, you also good?
I'm good, thank you.
You love? Oh,
I'm fine, love. Thank you.
all right. I do have enough
Hey, sis.
food and drink for all.
I was about to say, why are you looking at me all grumpy?
Who? Who's grumpy?
You.
What? I'm not
No, I'm the
grumpy.
grumpy one.
Story
For being
Gretchen,
honest.
Oh, do you need a hug?
I mean,
Yep.
yeah, I'll take a hug.
See, this is not the kind of city that I'm used to.
Well, people.
Fucking morale hugs. I've never seen that. I've seen people get jumped.
There, my sister.
We
I
jump
hope
you
your
with
day gets
love.
better.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Let me do another round.
Sorry is.
Who said they might be coming?
I received a couple pagers, so I am assuming that there's at least 1 to 2 people that are on their
Okay.
way. Yeah.
I'll have a look. I
Okay.
put out some signs, but I'll see if I can scoop up some people.
Of course. I'm gonna leave. Y'all raised a good point. In the future, I'm gonna say come to the cargo bay, because I left y'all in the parking lot, and you would have ran up to the upper complex and just been lost.
Yeah, we totally did
Yeah.
not know where to go.
Yeah, I should.
No, we would
probably
never met.
be more- Yeah. Well, you had 3 eyes watching you when you pulled up, so.
Oh, that's
sent her
good.
after, yeah.
And I started yelling. I'm scared. I figured you'd hear me. Ah.
I know my sister and her partner are probably working at their bike shop right now, so they probably can't be here.
Yeah, I
Oh,
saw the
yeah.
ad go up.
MJ might be coming soon, though. I revoked her visas elsewhere.
I haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah, no, she's been traveling too much. Which is a part of the tour. It'll make a lot more sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I feel like, oh my god, if you know just the cop me and you don't know me after this tour, like, I'm sorry. I need to kind of introduce myself as the humane guy before I do my police stuff.
I mean, I know you as the nice cop, a nice deputy Walker, so that's all I've known you as.
I appreciate you saying that, because I know you and I have often had our, I guess, even though it's just the courtroom and it's just like arrests, we've had our slight battles here and there over charges and finding the right grounds.
No, it's fun. No, you've always been honest. I mean, straightforward with me, and like you said, you let me know where you stand exactly. And like, on that one cell rep, it's like, hey, if they are honest with me, I take that into consideration, and I will, cut them slack accordingly. And I respect that. This is going where you're coming from. So, no,
It's
I've
not
never.
For me, it's for the process. We just process the law. You guys are also processing the law, and yeah, that's why I'm trying to always get it at that stage. Because if they're withholding, they're screwing up work for both of us. How are you going to be able to represent
True.
someone that isn't telling the whole truth?
That's fair. No, it's unfortunate that the city seems to only go to court against cops. I mean, I have yet to have a civil case between two citizens yet in the city, which is surprising.
I've been reaching out to some of our people in LC from our Vanguard law firm. We're going to be having some of them have a vacation here for a little bit. And we're going to try and swoon them into moving here and actually applying for a bar certification. And
Oh, wow, that'd be amazing.
yeah, and if they get another Vanguard open out here, I think they might reach out to you about those kinds of cases. 'Cause that's nothing but what we do with the corporate work. There's always someone going against progress, to say the least.
Oh, the Chief Justice has a lot of plans regarding the DOJ moving forward. He's actually considering totally disbanding the public defenders and just going private.
Oh, that would be weird.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hello.
I made it. I'm late, but I
Hello.
made it.
Welcome. We'll wait just a few more minutes for Gretchen, and then I think we'll start the tour.
Ooh.
So yeah, how's your day lately?
It's just getting started.
That is not the way to. You gotta wipe your mind right now for this tour.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm currently infusing it with caffeine, so I'm gonna be ready in a few minutes.
Okay. Good. Was Miss Gretchen out there?
Oh yeah, she was in the gate booth. I may or may not have completely taken out your gate, so I'll pay for that.
Oh no, that's what it's there for.
I'll go help Gretchen.
So this is Humane Labs.
Yeah.
Excited.
It is the cargo bay. It is where, we process most of our, prototypes, technology, materials that we need. Um, Obviously, when it comes to mass production, we have other places for that. Yeah, this is the house where it's all made and drawn and created, at least in type form. But I've talking about it. I've talked about it. Talking is her description. Uh, the Quantum Gateway project. I think I've mentioned it to all of you. Uh, it is the golden egg. It is what fuels just about any other department. It's kind of the money train that keeps us alive.
What's it called again?
The Quantum Gateway project.
Oh,
It's the research into essentially going in between dimensions, right?
Yeah, sublayers in our reality.
Almost like transferring through alternate realities.
Hmm.
wait, that's a actual thing? I thought that was science fiction.
Nope, the space race brought up that quite well. It wasn't just the stars and the ocean; it was everything in between. Yeah, this project fell on our lap back in LC, but when we got Humane here, we moved the computer to Los Santos, and almost, I'd say, 2/3 of our technology is able to be transferred to the city now because of it.
Oh, wow.
There was just a lot of wild things that we've made over the years that, you know, slowly but surely we were able to move to this city, and it's all thanks to that project. Again, though, we were going at it like cavemen originally because it fell on our laps. When we first got the lab and we were going around the different offices and figuring out the designations for each laboratory, what it would be used for, one of our temps disappeared. And, we went into the space
Oh,
where he was last seen, found out how that happened, and went into that with ropes around our waist and were pulled out with the temp.
is he okay? Are
Yeah,
they
no,
okay?
there's never been a fatality to
Oh, thank God.
him. There are, I guess, caveats though. There's certain things that are dangerous, but never fatal. We'll start off the tour in like a minute here. Oh, there's Athena. Scratch it. Oh, there we go. All right,
Right.
I think we're going to start the tour.
Wonderful.
Okay, you lovely people would like to follow me.
Did they?
move out of here. They're sort of bolted into the ground. I wish we could remove them, but it sort of acts as a symbolic figure. We don't test on animals anymore. Empty, dusty cages.
Oh, no test monkeys.
No, that's a radioactive family practice. It's not something that we do anymore. A modern world, man. We have better methods. No, like when
But
we have
radioactive
pharmaceutical-
monkeys.
Radioactive monkeys, that's not- But yeah, obviously, I've spoken with medical about this one too. When it comes to animal testing, obviously a certain level of it is needed in terms of pharmaceutical research, any sort of that. But that is not something that our company does. We can gather that data from other companies. The blue lit areas here are our tech department. So all you'll see here is our iFruit computers, our file cabinets, and our computer storage area. I can show you inside here as well. Just hoping it's unlocked for everyone. There we go. Yeah, this is the main bulk space. A lot of schematics and blueprints are drawn up here, as well as any of the data that we have at hand can be looked into in these spaces. Just as much, the two smaller offices down the corridor are for more private research, say if you had a specialized project that was need to know. So those kinds of spaces can be utilized, and as well as that, we're hoping to do what we did in LC, where we leased out certain spaces of ours to other companies that wanted to do research. So if there ever is another research group out there, we'd be more than glad to give some spaces to them where they could use different rooms for their own work. But yeah, like I was saying, iFruit computers, our file cabinets, and our computer storage, all readily available and up to date, state of the art. I can show you the other private offices down here as well. Should hold the door.
Oh, oops.
So yeah, like I was saying, we have two more privatized areas. This one is sort of our, not exactly break room, but it is our room where we hire people on. It has our bulletin in there, and we handle most of our employment management in that room. So, again, if we go up through this corridor, all of these labs.
Oh, we're too slow. Oh wow, those are on the computer technology.
I think it's the elevator that takes you to it. Yeah, but I think the bulletin is missing. That's strange. Shadow of it is here from the paint. Okay. But yeah, this is what the private areas look like.
Oh.
And yeah, if you want to follow me to our hybrid environment. Pretty much
Oh, now we're in the green level.
Yeah, any single department can use these spaces. We have containment pods. The ports that you see in the side contain Novichok sedative gas, just in case the individuals inside become too volatile or, I guess, dangerous. But yeah, this is a space where people that are exposed to any kind of unknown or unsafe illness, what have you, they'd be put in there while they're being examined. The joint work that we do with EMS and medical in the city. Just as much, we have cold storage to the right. We have our red room for analyzing, and another containment pod just across. There's also our lockers that I forgot to mention back there by the first containment pod. where employees are able to put away personal belongings as well as change into personal protective equipment, like Gretchen just did over there. And yeah, we have all sorts of different hazmat donning and doffing stations within these two corridors.
So,
Huh.
if there's no aliens here and you guys don't do testing on animals, what do you need containment pods for?
Well, like in Liberty City, we had all sorts of different things happen. I'll give you a rather weird example. There was an individual in the city who was a known organ harvester, cult leader. He was arrested and put in Rikers Island. While he was there, he was able to work out a legal agreement where he was put into Gen Pop instead of Supermax, basically confinement where he wasn't able to see people. So he was out in the public, and he swoomed his way into working in the cafeteria, where he would mix human meat from inmates that he was harming into the food that he was giving to people. Not
Dear
only that,
God.
he was
Ugh.
using narcotics in that city and mixing it with the food, making his own sort of disgusting poisoned human burger, which caused a virus of sorts that made individuals rabid and harmful to other human beings and individuals around. Uh, because of that, we had to contain certain individuals, and our crisis management unit was created at that time to go out and collect the individuals that the police nor medical wanted to deal with. Uh, So we had
But
people in
maybe,
hazmat grabbing guys and making sure that, it was by the book. We informed them. Law enforcement was present and we had them contained. And yeah, the police even said on record they saw an individual bite off their own hand to escape handcuffs. So
Oh
it was
God.
something that required a containment pod such as that.
so, but maybe an even less like crass example would be, new diseases that break out. Like let's take, like a super strain of influenza that nobody has figured out yet. Like since we work so closely together with, the Department of, EMS as well, they would be able to contain them here safely. Because all I know is they have ICU rooms, but are they like really, really, secured like that? I don't think so. So they would be able to bring those people here as well, make sure they get the proper treatment without risking own infection by doing so.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So it's not trying to say we do what medical does, we do what police do, but God forbid there ever comes a crisis in this city that those departments don't want to deal with. We're going to step up to the plate. That's what the private market stands for. We've done the same in many other instances, and even on like a smaller front. When Liberty City had police go on strike and we didn't have officers around, our private security was pretty much roaming the city for the governor, for the mayor, for everyone. And when police went back on duty, our private security firm was bulked. We were given a lot more freedoms because of our work for the city. So, if there's a gap, we
Uh,
fill it. Any sort of.
ah.
Interesting.
Prioritize police.
Just
You play
support.
support.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Support. That's what we're all about. It's not about taking away any others, jobs. It's more about like since we already have the facilities for other reasons, they are very free to use them as well for, you know, normal occasions, normal crises.
Okay. Just just a question for legal purposes since we have a lawyer here. Would it be possible if instead of giving people the option to send them up to Bolingbrook, we can give them the option to go into a containment pod?
This is something that we tried to work out with the federal government and LC, but it proved to be rather risky. It wasn't the fact of saying jail or the lab, but it was people that were serving extended periods of a sentence. They could choose to have their time reduced if they were to go to the lab and voluntarily be tested upon. But again, ethically, morally, that proved to seem like a legal arm twist, so we abstained from it. We're trying to be as
Uh-huh.
humane as we are in the name. So anything
Wow.
that seems heartless or militant, that's not us. And we've
I
had
know.
people from different military bases, like the equivalent of Zancudo and LC was up our ass for a lot of projects, and we had to fight them often and find private industry routes to go through them. They see a
Also,
project, they want to turn it into a weapon. We want to turn it into something that helps humanity.
yeah, we're also not a rehab center or like a containment center for 5150s. Don't
Yeah.
confuse that with Parsons, for
No
example.
mental hospital here. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I meant containment for testing.
Yeah. That's a like a big tobacco kind of question, like a corporate fat cat kind of thing. Like, oh, we could just take the prisoners. That would help us get test subjects. Like, hey, trust me, people that would fill my position in a heartbeat would think that way, but it's not the vision of Humane.
Gotcha. You
Huh.
guys are, in a sense, humane here at Humane.
Exactly. But yeah, let me show you the rest of this place.
Literally humane labs. Not ironically humane lab.
Sorry about that. So this is our general purpose lab. A lot of different fields use this space. Again, this is one that can be entered. We can go in there right now, actually. I'll try and hold the door open as best I can.
Nope. Seen it.
I think I got it. There we go. Okay. And again, medical, EMS, they have their own lab in Sandy that they can use, but the equipment we have here is much more advanced than what they're going to be using. So we offer
Ah.
a special clearance pass to all medical and EMS workers should they ever want to moonlight or come here in their off hours to do research or, work at a lab. This is the space for them. So we've tried to make sure that that's hand in hand. And whenever it comes to a medical professional being needed for our current or future work, they are going to be the ones that, dictate how we do that work. It's not going to be like LC where we have our own private medical. It's just not the way it'll work legally here.
So what's this metal box?
Oh, so yeah, this chamber here is pretty much a decon station. So if you go inside of here, you can clear yourself out of any sort of situation. And it's right parallel to the Quantum Gateway project, which is very convenient if you get exposed to unknown particles. So yeah, very useful.
Okay.
Oh, outside.
I had to put my dad through the once. There we go. And we're coming up to one of the most used rooms of Humane Labs, at least back in the old days. Medical room. This space here was one that just about any day, whether it was a crisis we had or research we were doing, we were in here for a good hour or so. Especially when the sea creatures that were affecting our land were attacking people. And I don't want to get too vile, but they were leaving eggs on people. So we had to bring them
Where?
here and remove the eggs.
Oh.
There
Where?
used to be lines outside of the door.
Where were they leaving eggs on people's body?
Inside their skin.
Oh.
Ugh.
Yeah, they also like plucking out eyeballs, but
Oh.
yeah.
They
That was
pluck
another-
eyeballs out and replace them with their eggs?
No, that was just more of a jab. I helped raise one that was birthed by another one we were taking care of, and the first thing it did after it killed its mother during the birthing process was pluck my eye out. We had medical sitting right out where we are right now because they didn't know the anatomy of the creatures, and only marine biologists and the people on the project were able to help with that process.
I mean, it's basically like parasitic behavior.
Yeah.
How big did they grow inside your skin before they hatched and crawled out?
Say about the size of a softball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many eggs at a time? Is it like a whole batch of them? or
Okay,
just
no,
one?
no.
You really don't want to know. It's
I do want to know.
dozens.
Oh boy. They all
It's
hatched at the
terrible.
same time?
It was almost fatal for some people. I think a person actually died to it once. Yeah, and that was
So wait.
yet another example of medical looking at us and shrugging and saying, "I'm not dealing with that." Yeah, you'd be surprised how many situations like that arise.
So they like
Ever.
burrow in the people's arms, or like did it not matter where on the body? It could be like in your chest or like.
Like, look, you make it sound so horrendous, but parasites have been a part of our lives for so many years
I'm just
already. You know,
curious.
like we
The
Trichomes,
got
size of
worms, tape, like,
softballs.
well, but you know, it starts with tapeworms. Tapeworms can grow to a sizable
Yeah.
size inside of you as well. You know, like don't make it sound so alien-like.
Yeah, tapeworms
they
are
were
awful.
they were sentient creatures. They were intelligent life forms, and when they're fully grown, they take quite a weird shape. They almost look humanoid, but their flesh is coral-like, and they have long razor-like fingers that just poke out like a needle. And yeah, they kind of came to our waters around the same time that everyone was learning that fishing was profitable, and they were using their money from fishing to buy like pontoon boats and yachts to have parties. So like while people were drinking beer and like having fun on a boat, these creatures would climb up and just start looking at them like, what the fuck is this? What are you guys? And the dumb humans would offer them illicit substances like beer and narcotics, which would make them very volatile. And that's why we had lines of people in beach attire standing outside of Humane's doors with eggs in them.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was a
You had
provoked situation.
you had aliens on
Not
controlled
aliens, they came
substances.
from the
That
ocean.
you had sea creatures on controlled substances. That sounds great.
Again, the oceans, sea creatures, so interesting.
That's why our marine biology department kind of got so big. But yeah, let me show you the building
Right. You go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Oh, really? Automatically locked? I'm gonna stand in front of the door. I don't want to do anything. Okay. So yeah, the room that we're in right now is the safe room. That is not the safe room. Gretchen here is going to do a demonstration of how the Quantum Gateway project works and how that little computer plays a role in every bit of our projects.
Hi, Gretchen.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Say
Well,
bye, Gretchen.
Bye,
Bye,
Gretchen.
Gretchen.
Hi, Gretchen.
so yeah, she's gonna go up to this computer here. When she initiates a jump sequence, something is going to happen. And you think that you're gonna have to rub your eyes, but that is not the case. Say bye, Gretchen.
Bye,
Bye, Gretchen.
Gretchen.
Bye, Gretchen.
Wait, what?
Oh,
Oh, this is a
Where'd she
headache.
go?
And yeah, I
Where'd
mean,
she
that's.
You said
Just wait a
quantum,
few.
so there's another end, right?
There are layers between where we are right now.
Oh, the
That's
door
why
just
you're
opened
hearing all
by
the
itself.
beeping and the readings. And just wait a
she's
moment.
walking into a different. She's walking another timeline.
Wait, she's here?
In a sense.
She's in the. She's almost in another fabric of time in the same space.
Surprise.
Shit. That is
Whoa.
wild, man.
Now, who wants to go see what it looks like?
I
Yeah.
I
do.
do.
Who does?
All
Yeah,
right.
me too.
I'm gonna stay outside for this one. Guys, go ahead. Go inside.
Oh, go ahead.
I wonder if Brooks ever made it.
Of course.
I'm not sure if we.
So,
wanna touch
I'm
it.
going to initiate the jump sequence. Everyone can just interlock their hands.
Did
Just
that
real quick.
chair just like
I moved it away.
move itself?
So yeah, whenever you're ready, just release your muscles, okay?
Okay.
Just fall over.
Oh,
Oh.
hi, babe.
Oh.
What? Whoa, what is.
Hello.
We're not- This is what the
Okay,
other. This is
I'm
what
relaxed.
the between the fabrics of time looks like.
So it's like an interdimensional lobby of sorts.
Ah,
We're completely separate from where we once were.
whoa.
Anything that is said or done here is not happening where we live. Um, when we first discovered this, like I said, a temp got sucked into here. We had ropes around our waist and we pulled them out. This was another thing that created the crisis management unit because we often needed people to help relocate our lost individuals on this project. Um,
Whoa.
but like I was saying, safe room, not safe room. This is the strongest connection to the computer that we are close to. So in this room, we could be in here for almost an infinite amount of time and never have any disruptions. But once you leave this corridor and go through those doors, it's a bit unstable. It's like walking a tightrope of different, I guess,
So
time
time
and
is
space
different once
streams.
we get back. It's a totally different time.
Well, that's dependent on how you walk the tightrope outside the corridor. That's why Gretchen
Okay.
was wearing that specialized suit. Thank God she built the female model for the suit in the city, because we only had the male one back in Liberty City. My sister Treasure would often go in and just not wear a suit, though. She was nuts. That's why she acts the way she does.
So are
But
we in danger that we're not wearing the suit?
no,
Yeah.
because we're in the like closest anchor to it right now. We're in the safe
Oh.
room and not safe room. Like this is both are good. The only reason why it's the not safe room is because you can fall into this. Um, but yeah, once you leave that yellow corridor out there, you're exposed to unknown particles. That's why you have to wear protective suits. Kind of like radiation, different.
Upside down, guys.
Um,
The upside
the
down.
two side effects kind of play a major role if you're exposed to it. I guess one, but there's another element in there that fucks with you. The two main things are spanning and misconfiguration. So that's where we get dangers to this exploration. Uh, Say you go out behind those corridors, you're not wearing protective equipment, and your hand goes into a pocket of unknown particles. If you return back to your main time and your main place, that hand will be randomly and rapidly aging at different intervals for the next few hours. It's
Oh
almost
God.
excruciating, but it's non fatal because at the end you return back to your normal age. But yeah, your hand would go from looking like how it is now to an infant's hand to a geriatric hand to the hand you had as a teenager. It would keep changing, and yeah, you'd feel that. This configuration is different though. When we do larger explorations and go in groups, if you don't keep eye contact on people at all times, a sort of metaphorical shepherd's crook will come and take that individual and replace them with a different version of themselves. And so that's a whole relocation thing as well. But
So cool, man.
yeah, the individual that was shepherd's crook is returned to the timeline of the individual that they were replaced with. So whoever that may be can be bizarre. My brother Warren once turned into a cannibalistic caveman like individual, so we had to detain him, and I was fearful where my real brother was.
Oh,
But
wow.
again, no fatalities, everyone's been recovered.
This crisis management team sounds like a pretty cool gig, not gonna lie.
They don't just deal with hazardous materials spills. About anything that is something that, like I said, government won't deal with, we will. I hope you're not too on edge, Miss Chaser.
No, I'm good. Yeah. Just,
We can go back to where we
me too.
are if you'd like.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry, Miss Chaser. Your hands won't stay aged forever. You know.
This room is completely clean along with the safe room. We've made sure of it. The computer, like I said, when we first discovered it, we were at its whim. We did not know how to control it. We did not know how to use it. We just knew how to, fuck around with it and see what happens. But we developed a operating system that controls all of it now called Opus. So if you ever hear about Opus integration, that is our technology that derives from the study, like the Deluxo, for instance, or my watch.
The watch.
Watch.
Yeah. In LC, we were using it for other aptitudes. Like I said, military was up our ass on a lot of projects. They see one thing, they want to turn it into a weapon or a gadget. For instance, this space wanted to be a private space corporate meetings of the future. So, the fat cats could sit down and talk about whatever behind the closest of doors. As well as
Oh
that,
yeah,
they wanted to
brain.
weaponize it into a prison called
Evil
Hades
versions. You
for
are evil versions
high
of
value
themselves.
individuals. It is essentially a pocket dimension.
No, not
Sounds like the
evil,
worst form of
not
military.
Elon Musk,
Yeah, and
Elon Musk,
that's where we have
evil
to find our
Elon
own,
Musk.
you know,
Wait, what?
industry go fuck yourself method, where it's going to be used for exploration and benefiting humanity rather than holding its worst creations.
It's honestly would have just been a more competent and more decisive version of the actual Elon Musk. That's written.
Any questions?
Oh,
No.
I think I'm absorbing what's happening.
Yeah.
Like I said, come with an open mind. It's this is the golden egg for a reason. You show this to people and it gets their mind going on what else can be done with this lab.
What happens if you eat or drink in the quantum gateway?
It's completely normal.
What's that behind her? What's that behind her?
oh! I finally met you.
Sorry about that. Apparently we're not the only ones who use this interdimensional lobby.
Oh, well.
I've
Yeah.
finally seen him. My life is complete.
Was that Bigfoot?
I was gonna ask you about Bigfoot.
See,
You're gonna ask
Bigfoot's
about
real.
Goddamn! Why you escape?
Is that Bigfoot?
Oh.
Oh.
Oh no!
Oh, they're fine. He's a butterball, don't worry.
I mean, a monkey. That's a Bigfoot, right?
That doesn't look like a monkey, does it?
No,
Like a Bigfoot.
I'm. My life is complete.
Okay, I see stuck
Oh,
up a little bit.
Like I'm
I
saying,
thought the
we're
bloody
always open to
corpse. I'm
hiring
like, oh
people
my
with this
god, we're
kind of
gonna
stuff
die.
is what intrigues you. It's the work that we do day to day. At least it's what we're trying to create here.
Yeah. Well, that was one of our first conversations I think we had was talking about this kind of stuff. So, I've always kind of been my thing.
I mean, Athena, she came to that job fair yesterday, and she was talking about where she wants to go with this, and she definitely wants to be an explorer for what's to come with this city. Trust us, Liberty City, we just sat back and waited for the call, and it's going to be the same thing in the city. All we need is a company like this to have a magnifying glass on the things that otherwise would not be talked about and forgotten. I bring that up because there were other crises that occurred before we had the lab. And, when it came to unknown life forms or things that were in the unknown, what we saw government do broke our heart. And I'll explain it just because it is so fucking sad, but we never want to be that city where if something unknown to our life, our society comes our way, we put it in a cage and shoot it. Because that used to be how things were done in our city before we created the lab.
Yeah. Well, this is
We got a really cool
I'm-
storyline going over many different servers that are
impressed.
continuing.
It's pretty amazing what you guys are able to do here. All in one building too.
Yeah. Private industry before, yeah.
This place
Government
is
can only do so much.
huge.
It is a massive facility, but again, we are going to need to get an office later down the line for more discussions in the city with potential investors, customers, what have you. You guys want to return to our time, our place?
Sure.
Do you happen
Yes,
to know
please.
what happens if you eat or drink in between the fabric of time?
Oh, like out there.
No, in here.
And here you're fine. Like I said, it's a clean
Oh.
environment. There's no unknown particles, but you have to have protective equipment once you leave that doorway, and it has a sustainable system that keeps you going for up to 9 months. Water, food, as well as that there is.
We have to wear that. We have to wear that for 9 months.
No, you can wear
Once
it
we
for
leave
up to
here?
you can wear it for up to 9 months
Oh,
in the
okay.
environment, and then you gotta return. Like we're still working through it. It's not a complete system, but we almost have it down to a science. We have a sustainable suit. It looks a lot bulkier, like Gretchen was wearing. It's that exact suit. It's meant to withstand the unknown atmosphere and environment that is out there. it also has a lot of different gadgets and gizmos to help keep people sane and alive during their deep explorations, whether it's a notepad built into the wrist or, you know, I guess not exactly artificial intelligence, but a machine learning system that is working to act as a second person they can talk to on solo dives, sort of to keep them sane. And as well as that, we're working on the newest suit to have a sort of, I guess, fail safe where if the individual becomes incapacitated, that machine learning buddy that they have takes over the suit and returns them to the safe room where they can be returned to their time.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but that one's going to be a lot bulkier. So we're still trying to work out the kinks.
That technology sounds very expensive.
Yeah, Craig Jacobs, he was the head of our tech department. He did a lot for us back in the day. And a guy named Frank Russo, he also helped lead the department. Both of them built one-of-a-kind things we never even thought of before. Reality anchors, for instance. I can explain all of that once we jump out of here. So yeah, to return, you just fall like you did to get in here.
Oh, oh thank God.
Oh, hello.
Oh my.
Back.
So
Bigfoot.
I'm sure you guys have seen things around that make you rub
Um,
your eyes every now and then, like at the
Yeah,
job fair,
yeah,
for
seems
instance. Or,
statistically.
yeah,
His
um,
big,
Does he have a name?
but if heat.
Sasquatch.
Ooh.
It's just black.
Does he have a name or
This-
just Sasquatch?
Sasquatch.
Okay. Hey, buddy. No.
I think
Bob?
Gretchen's more familiar with him than I.
More familiar than I would like to. Don't look at me like that.
Quite a
That's
character.
But,
the guy with the shooty.
like the stairwells at the police department. You've noticed sometimes how you'll have to rub your eyes when you see people going through them, almost as if they disappear and then they come back.
Hello?
Get out of the suit.
It's a very small space, but enough for there to be a sort of tear in that reality that we're in. They exist all across the world.
Oh.
So they're in the ocean, they're in the land, they're in the caves, they're in the skies even, which is why planes sometimes disappear. Just as much as that, we worked on creating a system that sort of dampens it and closes those tears, called reality anchors, negatively charged energy generators. Sort of like a negatively charged atmosphere that you feel like when you're at a beach or a waterfall from the water currents, that feeling that you feel in your teeth, or that nice buzz, that warm glow, whatever it is. It comes from negatively charged atmospheres. So we created a system that if you throw it down, it'll bolt itself into the ground and it'll generate those fields. And we were able to do it for a certain amount of space and it would close those tears. But obviously, for things like in the sky, that'd be proven much more difficult. I don't know how we'd do that. But the ocean and the land we were able to tackle. But that is where the whole issue of triporids came into place. A tear in our ocean caused a rift for an unknown life form to come into our waters and call Liberty City home. Those individuals, those creatures were not native to our land or our planet, but they're not alien.
But-
They are from another reality.
Hmm.
Do you feel more energetic, Athena?
I do. I feel the energy.
We worked on building a skyscraper-sized reality anchor that would cover a good chunk of Liberty City.
What have you?
Never got developed because it costed billions of dollars, but it
Where did you
it would have been
feed
amazing.
him, Gretchen? God.
Just imagine a whole city without any of those issues. One device does it all.
Good thing I
Oh, oh. Mm.
Sorry, he flatulence, you know.
Okay.
Jeez,
Oh,
man.
God. Oh,
Oh.
Bigfoot
Yeah.
farts.
We might
Oh.
have to open the.
Yeah.
Oh.
it's
Go
still
in.
open.
Decontainment. Decontainment.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's farting again.
Good
Oh,
Lord.
God. Oh, it's foul.
Hazardous material situation.
You might want to take him to the med bay and see what's going.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Give him a Tums.
Might have to analyze his gut materials. What's going on there?
He had one rotten banana.
We'll go
You
to
could
the
make
med
a
bay.
whole new weapon of war with those farts.
Well, wouldn't be the first time we've done that for the government as well, but again, that's when
Nice
crisis
farts.
calls for- No, we never weaponized a part, but we've made weapons for the military. But yeah, it was during the time when
yeah.
even our lab decided that we're making it for the right cause.
Don't panic.
Oh,
I'm not probing you.
Oh. Oh, uh-oh.
I'm rather putting a cork in it than anything else.
Just be still. Let her
Yep.
lube it up and
I
just
got-
pop a
I
cork
got
in
the
it.
lube.
Oh my God. I don't know how I want them to see this.
Oh no!
Oh.
Oh.
No.
God.
What the fuck?
Oh shit.
Of all the things I
Oh
would
my
imagine I've
God.
ever seen,
Quite a
I
demonstration of his thing here.
I did. This is
I'm
not part of the
trapped
tour.
here.
He was supposed to be in his pod, but we got you a new TV and everything.
God, is she okay in there? She's coughing.
think
Oh,
he
no.
farted again.
What the fuck? Okay. I'll be right back.
Hi.
That glass is bulletproof.
would so hope so. Is it Sasquatch? Oh, he's got a hammer.
Uh-oh.
He's got a hammer.
Hey, buddy. You hear that? Look over here. Look over here, buddy. Look at my keys. You want to play with them? They're right here.
There you go. That should keep him calm for like, 2-3 minutes.
Let's see. That's all I need to finish. Get to it.
Did I just drug him?
Yep, they just drugged him.
I don't know.
Oh,
Oh.
There we go.
Nope.
Alright, he's breathing fine. Okay, no, all good. He's just sedated. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine.
He's not
There
human,
she
so we don't have to
is.
worry
I knew
about that.
she had a sedation syringe and she was walking behind me. I knew it.
It wasn't for you. That it's for this thing, for example.
Uh-huh. That's a likely story.
Obviously, I don't have to argue that since he's not a human being, that was perfectly legal.
How do we know he's not?
I mean, did you see the way he grabbed Gretchen?
Oh.
Any of y'all have a drink by chance?
We have a water cooler right here if you're thirsty.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just be advised there are bugs around it. No, a bug
yeah.
around it. No, like not that kind of like a listening device. We care about the morale of our employees.
Oh.
Don't
Not
sleep
sure how-
insects. Not a fucking water cooler.
oh my.
All right. So if you want to finish the tour with me, I can show you. We have the
Sure.
basement. Again, apologies for the Sasquatch. That was not my intention. That was not part of the plan.
Don't be sorry. I told you my dream has come true.
We used to have an elevator, but it proved faulty, so we got stairs built in.
Oh, we can't take the faulty elevator.
Sadly, yeah. And just as much, it also proves a bit of a problem for wheelchair accessibility. I understand that. So, this is our memory department here. Yeah. And this is the moon pool. But it's sealed shut. We still have to talk to SBA about getting the locks fixed. Like, those corridors shouldn't be locked. The hallways itself, that's a major problem for egress in terms of any evac situation. So we've been talking with the SBA for like a month or so about getting those doors fixed. This one as well is completely sealed off. The only way into the moon pool right now is through the maintenance hatch in the ocean. So, yeah, Miss Athena here and Miss Gretchen both went on that tour today to see what the moon pool really looks like. It's quite a nice place. There's a radio in there. There's a water cooler. We're gonna get a TV in there.
It's absolutely amazing. Because
Yeah.
I told Gretchen earlier, I was just like, you just might as well, if I get hired here, put me a desk down here and let me work down here.
You want to get the sub layer 3? Okay, that works. But
Yep.
yeah, the memory department is completely sealed off just for right now, as a lot of those projects are still under ice. But we're hoping to get something going in the future.
Very cool.
Hopefully
y'all
they
heard
can
of-
get that moon pool open for you guys.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
really lovely, yeah.
I gotta talk to government again about that one. I'll just send them another postal tonight, just to make sure.
Yeah, and also like change the locks from, just to be consistently Humane Labs.
Oh yeah, because for some weird reason I have to clock in as an LSSD officer in order to open those corridors. It's a bit bizarre. But yeah, have y'all heard about spatially dictated memory employment?
There. No?
No.
No.
So, the people who are on the submarines that hold the nukes, do you think that they should be able to, retain that sort of information outside of the submarine? What if there was a way we could, sort of separate that or take that out of the picture with technology or an operation of sorts, some sort of pharmaceutical? The point of it being, what if there was a way to create an environment where once you walk into a certain space, your memories can be altered based on where you are? Not erased, but creating two different versions of you, like a one that is outside of the room and one that is inside. Whenever you're inside that room, you can keep those memories, but once you're out, you know nothing about what goes on in there. And it goes so much more than just the military or the corporate espionage, I guess, anti-deterrent method. It could be something that helps the workforce, like people who hate their jobs. What if you don't remember your work at all, and all you feel is a little bit tired from the work you did for the day when you get out of that door? Something like that.
Wait, so you're saying it's finally possible to forget about bad exes?
Well, I don't think we've taken it that far. Again, that would have to be a sort of situation where I guess those memories are stilted. You know, like a manual switch of sorts that could remotely do it.
Well, if you need a test dummy for that, I'm your guy.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'll keep that
That
in
was
mind.
hungry.
But yeah, it's just a bit of a taboo subject, and it's something that, yet again, we're going to move with the community on. If they want it, we won't pursue it.
It is. it is as much taboo as it is also a safety for those employed in those jobs,
Hmm.
with high risk. Like, basically, you wouldn't be able to squeeze out any information out of them outside of that room.
State
Uh,
secrets, corporate
yeah,
documents, what have you.
so, they could be saying, like, I have no idea about that, and they would be right, and people would know that, you know, outside of that room, they don't know anything about that.
Rule out torture, a way of agonizing individuals' lives.
Hmm.
So how? I guess you gotta be careful when doing that because you have to make sure you don't squeeze so much information that they forget who they are. But if my understanding is submariners are people in that sort of role or in them for like years or months at a time, what
Hmm.
about like if they have like self developments? Like, how would you separate out certain memories that would be forgotten?
Well, I think there would be a sort of birthing process when they first start their employment. You'd have to kind of get them to know who they are and what they're doing in the space and why their memories are shifted. And if you can get them on board with it, that's more than half the battle.
Yeah, consent.
Lopez?
And
So,
also, think about the fact that, a lot of scientists say that we only use 10% of brain capacity. So we're not effectively overriding, the existing memory, but more like enabling the other parts of the
This is an
brain that
urban
we're
myth, I think.
supposedly not using. Uh, you know,
technically, when those people are done with their work, they essentially don't remember that they even did it. So they're being deprived of that part of their life, however much time
yeah,
that is, right?
Yes.
that is very true, but that is something that you would tell them beforehand.
I guess the trade off would be they would be getting paid for it.
Hmm. Obviously, it would be an optimized payment as well, as opposed to regular employment, dealing with the high value information, having to be secluded from your daily life. But as
How
well
much
as
is that
that,
worth?
well, it's dependent on the company or government asking for it. Yeah,
How much would you all want to get paid if you were told, hey, if you did this job for 6 months, this is how much we'd pay you? How much would you all do it for?
it'd have to be six figures, very least.
Ah, that.
Yeah.
I feel
But
like
then,
6 figures is still low to lose part of your life.
uh, human lives are everywhere. How many of us are on this planet? If you don't take it, someone else will.
That is true.
I don't know, but as much as that, I guess the concern for it is that it will help preserve the small percentage of
Hmm.
researchers and innovators who have otherwise discovered things that they would be killed for. You know, like someone who builds a car that doesn't need gasoline.
Yeah. And just take into consideration how many times have people come back from work and they're like they're stuck with the problems from work and would love to just forget about that and be able to relax and be that private person that they usually are. It's a trade-off, to be honest. It depends, it depends what kind of job you're in. If you're aware of that, like, obviously you would be aware that you're doing this and when you sign the contract to do so. It's not like you forget about that, but are you okay with being able to really completely turn off once you leave work? For some it's a blessing, others would it would drive them mad, right? But that's something you need to ask yourself before accepting that kind of job.
Funny enough, I've just realized that that kind of already plays into how we teach people that the way to think, how we work here. When you represent this corporation, it's much like working in your occupations that you all serve right now. You are no longer the individual; you're serving a larger body. So when you're working here, it's not what would be best for you; it's what would be best for the world, what would be best for this company. That and so you represent it as the face of Poseidon Energy, the face of Humane Labs, instead of Gretchen or John or Athena.
I definitely agree with what you say, Langley. It's just a preference, right? Like I said, some people prefer not taking their problems back home, so they can actually shut off and you know enjoy their family lives and all kinds of stuff.
Some people don't live to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Me. Fair enough. Interesting.
Again, it is a choice. It's not something that is forced upon you.
Or should it ever?
I think
I almost,
we kind of killed them with
I
information.
almost wonder, like, if you would go as far as to do that separation of memory, right? How far off are you from essentially? I would only imagine that it might be easier to just clone somebody and keep the memories completely separate, and
Ah,
then
yes.
that person would be able to work and then get paid as one, but then you're essentially enslaving your clone
I
to
was just
work
about to
and
say,
suffer. So,
does the clone not have a right to, enjoy their own life as well?
That's
That's
the
the
problem
ethical
there.
question. Yeah.
Yeah, it violates so many human rights laws that it's not possible. Human cloning is, uh, uh, you could say I'm wrong, centuries away.
well, if you could separate memories from somebody, couldn't you hypothetically suppress their emotions and feelings? So you could suppress
Genetically
their.
modify? Are you talking about that?
Well, I don't know if it would be genetically modified. I guess you could genetically modify people's hormones, but I mean, uh, you know, it's a mental state, right, for people to feel things. So essentially, if you could separate people's memories, technically you should be able to alter their their other brain states. So you could suppress their emotions so they don't feel anything. So
Oh,
then, is it really torture if you suppress, you know?
oh no.
Again, that would
Listen,
have to be IAA work because that is so on the
no.
level of just
This is
dark.
where no,
Yeah.
absolutely not, because this is where people would ask like, hey, how about serial killers? Can we basically suppress their emotions to make them a functioning part of society again? And this is where you would fiddle with, existing people. That this is
Yeah.
mm-mm.
We
I
can't
think
play
I think
God.
Line.
you would want to do the
But
opposite
there's
for serial killers. I think they do what they do because they don't have any sort of emotional reaction to horrific
Uh,
things.
Or maybe they have like emotion can also be negative. Like, hey, you know, this person
I said,
aggravates
yeah,
me. I want to
the
kill them.
serious
the behavioral sciences unit of the FBI beg to differ. FIB, my apologies, but they they strictly say that it is a passion. It is something that they are driven by, and that is not a lack of emotions. That is a drive of emotions in the wrong direction.
I mean, you could say the same for cannibal, right? They say that cannibals lack a certain, what is it, a hormone that makes you puke, for example, when you ingest blood. Like, for example, if you've ever accidentally ingested your own blood, it makes you want to vomit, right?
Yeah.
Well, cannibals don't have that.
um.
Now,
Wait, what?
that's an
It
anomaly.
does?
would would you, like, at what point do we
Because
say
I know
no,
you're
stop,
Frank.
we cannot fiddle
I've had
around
plenty
with
of my own bloody
humans?
noses, and I
That's the
Stop.
big point because
spit that
we
stuff
can't play
in,
God
and
and we
my
know
own
the
blood does not
boundaries at
gross me
the
out.
federal level of what we
I
can and
don't
can't
like it,
do. That's
but it doesn't gross me
this
out.
lab is a talking piece. It is a
Like,
place where we vocalize
you know.
ideas and taboo subjects and see how taboo they really
I
are.
know that,
You know,
because I've thought of
put
that
it to the test,
concept.
see how it can be adapted,
But like
and how
eating
it can get
food
toned
and
down.
finding out it's human and stuff,
Um,
it's made me almost
but
sick.
just as much, we often run along, are we playing God? And if we hit that, we walk away. That's why we will
Yeah.
never work on trying to bring someone back from the dead, or why we'll never try to clone anyone. Any of that mad science, by definition, it's just ethically and morally such a far time away from being able to talk about this to an open forum of educated professionals.
True.
But
Still interesting to think
I
about,
get
though.
you. Oh yeah, no, and this is a house for talking about it. We don't swat that
Uh-huh.
away, but we do know our boundaries in terms of where we can and can't talk this stuff up to government, to people. And well, just as much as that, prosthetics is where we draw the line on being able to bring people back. What semblance of the life can we give back to someone who's lost a piece of themselves? That's where we go as far. We've never tried to Frankenstein anyone, but God forbid they lose their legs, their arms, what have you. We'll try to return that to them.
You wouldn't try to
Have
regrow
you been?
someone's biomatter for their arm?
That's another research more so with MJ and medical professionals, and
Yeah, I'm definitely down. We
there you
can
go.
learn that
But
humans can grow
yeah,
back limbs like
people we
lizards.
have at hand
We'd
and
be
potential
set.
new hires, legacies of this city, whoever comes to our door.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
one
tech
evolutionary
issues
trait I
are
wouldn't
some
mind.
sort of study.
I mean,
Uh,
what you're saying, Langley, that would actually be perfect if we could regrow organs. Because how many times are you looking, for an organ donor and they're not a
Waiting
match
lists,
because of
yeah.
waiting lists? We could save people's
That
lives,
argument.
but at the same time, you have to consider why are people's lives ending as well. There is a sort of selection going on, with weaknesses, genetic weaknesses, all kinds of
Oh
other stuff
shit, they're going
that
down
we're
that
not all
road.
about.
That's
As soon as we start
interesting.
fiddling with that, you know, that's like overpopulation is a thing. Like we're already getting older as we speak, older than like back in the Middle Ages, way way older. At
Like,
what point do we cross the line of making superhumans, right? And how far can biomedicine go before it turns bad?
I think you start hitting that point once you start altering beyond what the normal capabilities of a human body is. But I was
True.
thinking more like, the men and women that, serve countries around the world that go to war and lose a leg and lose an arm. I mean, they gave everything for that, right? At
Very
least
true.
maybe medicine could help them not regrow their arm back, but grow like a biological version of their arm. So maybe it's like a prosthetic, but it has biological tissue that could be reattached. So it's not like their arm, but it's a more human-like arm instead of just a piece of plastic or a piece of metal stuck to their arm, you know?
We worked on a
Yeah.
project like that a year or so ago with the IAA. They were looking at
I
a
think
new
right now
set
the
of
major
weapons, new set of tools, something that
hold
could,
back on
change the
or
definition of what our military standard
prosthetics
is.
is
We looked at it at the
getting that
pharmaceutical
nerve
level,
getting the
just
signal
issue
that
a
goes through
vitamin,
our
a
nerves
drug,
into
something we
electronics.
could, make a twist with, and it was pharmaceutical.
I mean, some of the most
We went
ideal,
around with
more
this project called Virtus, and
ideal or
that was one that really
sophisticated
kind of caused
like the
a
arm or a hand or
mass moral
whatever
argument
is
in
because
the
you can move
community,
your muscles in your shoulder a
because
certain
it was
way and it
turning
can
people into
recognize
weapons
that
for a
and
short period
you
of
learn to
time.
move
You
your
take this
shoulder
pill,
muscles her way
and for
to
about
grip
15 to
your
20
hand,
minutes, you would
point,
be
you
given
open
a
some fingers, whatever. But I
unheard
think
of
we get to the
strength
point
or
we're talking like with Cyberpunk
trait, what have you,
2077
and it
levels.
would serve in
You need to
combat. It
find
was
that
the first
connection
batch of
where
people. My sister
biologic
MJ,
and dual
she was
nerve
one of the
can
first test
adapt
subjects,
to
but there were a lot of other
metallic
people
or
down the line that
electronic
different batches were created
wiring
with, and the
for
batches that went
signals.
from just straight up
Get that signal
weapons
transfer
with
going on
decadent
and
and
not have the
chaotic waste
biological
to people
reject
that
the
you drop them
mechanical.
in
That's
and
the
they could be
biggest thing.
better at espionage or sabotage,
Because
utility work,
a lot of
research work,
times
logistics.
flesh will
And
reject
then even further down the line,
metal
civilian
and stuff.
adaptation. How do we use this drug to help people with disabilities? Someone who's paraplegic takes this pill
Because
and they
if
can
foreign,
walk. How do we make that
it's
weapon
not
more effective?
biological. It's mental.
know?
It's a item.
But there was a
It's
lot
just
to
so
it.
crazy
So
how like
there were people in the
I
city
now have
who
a metal
refused to
plate in my
take that
wrist
trial.
that's
I
screwed
don't
into my
understand
bone.
that fucking around with the
So
evolution
weird.
of humanity is playing God in
And now my
itself
whole
and
my
offering that to
tissues
people
and
is a
my
problem. But we
cartilage
had
is all
carte
growing
blanche and
around
let
it
the
and
IAA,
recovering
so
around
that
it.
was
It's
something we could
crazy.
100% fuck around with at the time. Again,
Uh,
not something that we could see happening here.
I'm not sure how people could make that for those types of drugs to actually benefit humans and increase our skills and abilities when there are already existing drugs like cocaine or speed will give you massive amounts of adrenaline and energy boost to do some crazy shit, or meth will cause people to just absolutely tweak out and not feel pain at all and just completely have abnormal strength and do some crazy shit, and that's all negative effects why that would be okay, but drugs like that, people would be up in arms about. You know what I mean?
Well, you got to understand this was all a part of the Ultra program, and so this was right after MK Naomi when they were learning how to make biological weapons. They were talking to us about how to make things that just change humanity, and whether it was their remote viewing projects, the people that could see across the world if they were put in a sensory deprivation pod or a dark room, cloud bursting projects, all sorts of wild situations. But yeah, the drugs and the substances that they were manufacturing and working on, like the surgic acid, LSD, um, these were all new things on the market that they were, behind the creation of at the very least, and the popularization of it. The same thing happened with Virtus, and I know how you're talking about how like PCP and meth, like those ones can help people feel immune to certain pains or feelings and keep them on edge. Cocaine can make people act exceedingly more durable or faster than they usually are. Um, but Virtus was one of a kind. It bonded to people's genetic makeup and also worked around their overall trauma and who they were. And because of that, they would gain a specific trait from it. Like someone who
Oh, I gotcha.
always felt the need to protect themselves, being able to stop a bullet with their own skin in a situation.
I mean, have you heard about the latest fad? And I think it's called like what do they call it? Plastic surgery. People striving to be more perfect, but do we not feed into the misconception of what is perfect? Like at some point, you're starting to play with people's perceptions of what is supposed to be perfect. We are perfect with our imperfections. And as soon as you start helping you know, one people and it's misconceived as we can create like unison people, basically like an army of people that all look the same up to a perfect standard. Who's defining that standard? We cannot fuck around with how people perceive themselves just from an ethical point of view. Like technically speaking, you can do anything you want, but from an ethical and moral standpoint of view, you cannot do that. We need people to accept how they are, who they are, and not run after some sort of idol that they think is perfect and I want to look like them. This is not what we are. We are unique in who we are, what we are. And unfortunately, like if I see that plastic surgery emerging more and more, I fear what it will look like in the future when people just alter their outsides already so much to something that I don't know how it will look like when they're old, for example. I this is sorry, this is a big tangent here, but all the questions you ask perfectly fine. The thing is, how far can you go morally and ethically?
Yeah, and I have 2 points to make about that. Um, at least with the Virtus one, that's the reason why the final batch was for civilian adaptation. How can we make everyday life better? And, you know, I'll just be completely about it. We were looking at turning humanity into the new set of tools, like trusting in our own people rather than technology for once, creating ourselves as the super technology almost. Why would you need taxi drivers if once you get out of the airport there's a teleporter saying where do you need to go? You'd need people with super strength and construction, or people that could manipulate the weather, helping coastlines and places in danger of ever-growing climate change. The possibilities were endless, and so there was a lot to that we were looking into, and it created a rift between our society of the people who were against it and the people that were for it, and it was quite so. In the end, we tried to go with the route of peace and just trying to answer any questions, prove any doubts, and by the end of it, we had a populace that was happy with the project and still working with the government to this day, and the other half they went back to their regular lives. They're doing their own thing. They don't take the pills anymore.
Okay, interesting.
Does anybody have a drink? I'm about to pass out.
Absolutely. You need something to eat as well?
No, no. Dangerously close.
Sorry. But yeah, I hope I'm not like rattling your brain with this Vertus. This is one of our most weirdest projects we've ever done.
No,
I
it's
don't
very
know.
interesting.
I mean, out of all of this, I think the question of ethical and moral standards as far as improving people's like abilities to do things through drugs or genetic modifications isn't essentially the wall. I think there are ways around it, or there are sacrifices that are appropriate to make for that benefit.
Mhm.
I think the real wall that you hit is you can't you can't trust humans not to be greedy with it.
Uh,
You can't
Very
trust
much so.
humans to not
I
exploit
think
the
my eyes
shit
are
out of
seeing stuff.
people. You
there's
know?
a lot of unsaid to the work that we do, things in between the lines, which is why when you were talking about being able to alter the mind states and memories and feelings of individuals, that's where I got the undertone and spoke of dark, because
Yeah.
when it comes to the work that we used to do with that, just as much as we originally made the first batch of people to be straight up weapons, um, there were also countermeasures that were created should they ever go rogue. And that's never a fun thing to do, to be like, hey, thank you for coming onto this program. You're going to change the face of this nation almost if this goes right. And then being like, we also have built a device that can, you know, take you down if we need to. Uh, but yeah, that was a whole situation of its own. And the second point I forgot to illustrate earlier was Gretchen touched on it very well. It's another unsaid thing about this company. We work as a collective one. Every single individual contributes to how we work. There's no one person behind the wheel on this. We need all hands on deck to do the work that we do. So anyone's perspective, their goals, their ambitions, that's what they're bringing to the table. That's what we look for with this lab and our employee base. It's why it's all entry level. It's a collective body. And we don't just hire yes people. We hire naysayers. We need people who doubt things.
Interesting.
I definitely can't wait to see what comes out of here, you know? What kind
Well,
of
again,
new technical advances.
hey,
Maybe you guys have like a magazine that you like a scientific magazine that you ship out every once in a while so the public can kind of read up on what you guys are working on, you know?
that would definitely be something. Because, yeah, we love being open to the public about all these different projects we've worked on, just as much as their curiosity goes. And yeah, we don't ever want to like pull people into work that they're not interested in. We just leave all the work out there so that if it does interest someone, they know where to go. But yeah, when it comes to the IAA days when we worked there, that was a different side of Humane, and that's why we've changed our colors lately. We're no longer green and black like we used to be. Thanks to Dynasty 8 as well. We needed to recolor up. But blue, gray, and black. It's the new era color of Los Santos. New approaches with different locations. That's
I
why I
like it.
talk about Kaio a lot as well. When we worked for the IAA and did their research for a bit, we were stationed in Kaio at a place called the Lighthouse. It's a massive substructure underneath the lighthouse. It's the last thing people see before they go into a dark place. Pretty sure they filled it in like 6 months ago, though. Any
Uh,
questions?
ah,
Whew. I'm on information
yeah.
overload, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry about that.
No,
No,
that's
it's
all right.
interesting.
That's why I was saying it's a shame you met the police me first before you met this me, because this is our true calling. That's why I moved here.
Mm.
Well, they're very, very interesting. And the types of discussions that we could have are very, very interesting as well.
Well, what comes of it is even better. Once we
Oh,
get
yeah.
some boats and a submarine out, that's just the start of a snowball for a lot of things at Humane. It's not off to say that once we get our marine biology department going, we're going to have a lot more people asking for jobs just because, like I said, we have people who want to be explorers. We have people who just want to go out there and see what's available and not just do research in a lab. We're going to try and work with small contracts here and just see how far up it goes. If we become a federal asset later down the line, we'll see how that pans out. But I need more legal here than ever for that to be possible because, my God, the overstepping is immense with any government. Also, I'm not trying to jab at all. Gretchen knows this, some others know this. I actually have bosses that I still go out to LC to talk to. And when it comes to any operation I'm working on, I have to have their legal advisor, like their people.
Ah,
I wish I
Speaking
could
of
choose my
Gretchen,
own.
where'd she go?
Probably to take care of this Sasquatch. Let's go see. Gotta work on the overload part. Athena, do you think if we got like complimentary whiskey for people who take the tour, it would help?
I mean, people in the city do it through whiskey.
It might take the edge off when people first see the Bigfoot.
Well, that's
Yep,
not part of
yep,
the tour. That was completely. That's never happened on any of the other tours we've had. You can ask Athena; she's done a few.
We got
Yep, this is my third tour.
Oh, wow.
Big fan, big.
I am a fan.
Well, she works here. I mean, she's going to in a moment. I'm going to hire her after the tour. You are going to be on board. And I know Gretchen said she's got a lot of projects she wants to talk to you about already. Also, for people that we've newly hired on for the first week or so, we kind of have to escort them back to their cars so they know how to do that. Some people get lost.
very easy to get lost in here.
Thank you again for waiting so patiently.
I don't know. All good.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about
This is
the air
great.
over here. I feel like I have a lot more pep in my step. I walk a little faster.
Ah.
Found
Hello.
someone.
Found Brooks?
Found. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, Mr. Walker,
What's Sasquatch?
give a moment.
No, Brooks. I mean, he's not that hairy.
Huh?
I don't know.
I don't know. Damn.
fuck is she fucking talking about?
Are we? I mean, you are kind of hairy, actually, Brooks.
Damn. Cause you're a gorilla.
Well, I mean, as someone who sees him naked every night, he's not that hairy.
Hmm.
Okay. But are you guys done with the tour?
I believe so.
Okay, wonderful. I know it was a lot of very profound discussion in the end, but I hope you still enjoyed it.
No, I didn't.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Well, and I mean, this doesn't end here. Like, if you're ever interested in something more, don't hesitate to contact one of us. You know, we'll be able to show you around more, or show you more projects, or whatever you desire.
Very cool. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'd definitely like to see, come back in a little while and see what if you guys have anything new going on.
Heck yes. Let's see what we can cook up.
Oh, yes. I'm excited.
Oh, am I to have you on board is amazing. And I thank you so much for your interest as well. It's we're always happy when people actually show genuine interest and come to tours and ask us questions. That's the most important. Like, you can have a tour, you can just nod everything off, or you can ask the critical questions like you guys did. I really do appreciate that, because like, yes, we can do a lot of things here. Technically speaking, like I said before, you can do a whole lot of things, but do we do that? No, because we have our moral compass as well.
Y'all enjoy.
It's Mel.
See you tomorrow, okay?
Okay. Take care.
Hi, Langley.
Yeah, he's got to go do some other work that he's got
Yeah.
to be there for.
So, quick question. I think you were alluding to something when Casey mentioned, rocket packs or jetpacks?
Oh, jeez. Well, yeah, no, I mean, after the tour and what you've seen, it's not too far off to say that kind of technology can be around. We had thrusters like that back in LC. We made a military unit with the Coast Guard for it. It was pretty cool. Had a bunch of people going around, and one of them even wanted to put guns on theirs, but we thought that would be too much of a problem, so we just built it to be a rescue thing. You could pick up people that were stranded in the ocean with it. You could, go onto a boat, do a search. It's pretty cool. So we have
Yeah.
that technology. We just need to talk about bringing it here and how adaptable it would be.
Very cool.
I'm sorry if I overloaded y'all though with the basic
That's
stuff.
alright.
I know Gretchen
It was
and
fun
I were
chat.
like a double team, just back to back, bringing information to y'all.
Sorry, we're passionate about this.
No, it's good to be passionate about it. I mean, otherwise you don't get anything done if you're not passionate about something.
That is very true.
It's just it feels hilarious because I don't see other people trying to like open this lab in other cities. I've heard about it in other places, but not to this degree of actually bringing a city level asset that could produce things for when crises occur and when there's a gap that needs to be bridged.
Have you been hired or not?
You have not.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
definitely not
we'll get to that very soon.
All right. Well, we'll let you guys get to it now. Thank you for the tour.
Of course. And,
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, of course.
interesting.
We're always around if you want to talk about, working on projects or just helping out, anything like that. Just looking for people with a drive or a passion for this kind of work.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
said you're
Same.
throwing out the ideas, Casey. I'm a big fan of ideation, so absolutely go ahead and bring that forward, and we'll
Hmm.
see how we can enable you to do these things
Okay,
for this community.
cool. Yeah, it's definitely, if I think of anything, I'll definitely bring it forward.
Great. Well, you know where we are. And do I have your postal, Casey?
If you don't, I can give it to you.
Yeah, I don't think I do.
All right, it's RC 851.
All right. And I do have yours, Amber. I was all the way over at Humane when I had to send that fax since we don't have a post office here.
No, that's all right. We were, and I was we were on the road towards Toledo at the time, so that worked out again.
That is fair. Again, thank you both.
Thank you.
All right, have a nice night, guys.
You
Yeah,
as well,
take it
be
easy.
safe,
You too.
drive home safely.
Give my regards to Sasquatch, please. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, he'll
Will
wake up any
do.
hour now.
So you gotta make your idol, huh?
I guess so.
Well, I didn't know Athena was gonna work here.
She had mentioned something. I'm not really sure what she's going to be doing, but
Oh, did you want to go look at trucks again?
yeah, if you're down.
Yep.
Unless you want to check on your car.
They're probably closed by now. I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
I have nothing in it.
So what'd you think? Or did you like it?
It was mind blowing.
Right?
Altered universes, Sasquatch is real?
I know.
Parasitic mer people?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I believe it all, but then I seen it, some of it, so I don't know.
Yeah. It's crazy. I was
Insane.
totally geeking out. I love that stuff.
No, I can tell. Ah.
Okay, let's try this again.
Let's get you there, Rebel. right, congratulations, babe. You want to park it real quick, and then we'll head see if Benny's is open, so you can get customized.
Yeah, I like the big wheels.
Looks like you got most of the options on it already. You got the grill, and you just need the bars in the back of the lights, I think, if you want those.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I want it. Yeah.
Alright, yeah, go then. All right, let's go set that up, and then we'll go over to Benny's. Actually, babe, can I meet you over there? I'll check on my car at Hayes first, and then... Okay. See you there. That's a really interesting thing they're doing over there with the whole whatever.
How you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for working on my car like that. How much I owe you?
Just 239. I'll just bill it to you.
Did you just work on the thing that broke it, or did you work on everything?
No, it was just what was broken. I didn't actually check anything. Actually, do you want me to check everything else real quick? See if it's all
Yeah,
good?
sure. Let's get a tip-top shape, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go park this car. I'll take her back to grab it. Oh, I can't store in the vehicle. That's right. You know what? Actually, I'll park it. That's what I'll do. I'll park my car. I'll go grab it and give her car back.
Oil filter needs to replace. Air filter's good. Fuel filter's good. Coolant's good. Brake fluid I'll replace. Power steering fluid. Transmission. Spark plugs are fine. Drive bell. Flywheel is fine. And tires need replaced. Okay. What about the actual part? Radiator. Fuel is good. Brakes are good. Drive shaft is good. Alternator's good. And clutch. Yeah, just a radiator on it. But there's a lot of service parts as well. The main thing, at least, it starts now.
Does it have trouble starting?
Yeah, it wouldn't start at all.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do... Alrighty, that should be all good now. Yeah, everything should be schmicko. Okay, good. Alrighty. Everything is all good.
Okay, how much owe you?
I think... $5.89.
All right, I'm good. Can you charge that to my card, please?
Yeah, sure. There we go. Alright, awesome. And that's all done. It actually starts now.
And yeah. And also here you go. For all the trouble.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
hell yeah. Awesome.
We're gonna park this one up because I'm driving my girlfriend's car, so I'll park this one so I can drive hers back.
All good, man.
Yeah.
All good.
Alright, appreciate it. Actually, I'll get her. Actually, while I have it here, could you take a look at my girlfriend's car as well? I know she'd use at least a window fixed.
Yeah, sure.
And then you'll go ahead and charge me for repairs as well.
How would we go here? Yeah, quite a bit needs repair.
Yeah, go ahead and repair everything.
All the parts are still good. Alright.
Okay.
It's just service stuff that needs done. And the windows,
Okay.
obviously.
Yep. Let's go ahead and do that.
Awesome.
Oof. They put a printer here above the hole. That's clever as shit. I love that. The sides weren't working. I'll get this done then. Can't even sing it.
Damn, it's fucking over. I'm standing close next to a wheel, goddammit.
Oh.
Oh no, there's tire replacements. Alright. Oh, well, that's good. And I'm gonna need you to park it up real quick so I can do the
I can't. It's
reversal
not my
stuff.
car.
Oh shit! Okay, no, that's fine.
Sorry.
It should be fine. It should be fine.
Okay.
I was meant to do
If
this
it's
first. If none of the service parts stick, just bring it back and I'll
okay,
redo it for you. It's fine.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Should I just take you to my girlfriend and have her park you right away?
Yeah.
Okay.
It should be fine. How many minutes?
I'm sure it will be.
Oops,
Excuse
sorry.
me.
Alright, let me just see if there's parts. Okay, good, they did. Alright.
Yeah, how much owe you?
Give me 1 second, I'm just working that out. Just 498 for that one. I'm gonna do your card again.
Yes, Fritz.
Alright, there you go. That's all done.
All right. Yeah. Oh, wait, get out of here. There you go. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Awesome.
Yep. Have a good
take
one.
it
Thank
easy.
you very much. You too.
You too.
That open?
No.
Okay. Well, I got my car, paid for it, and then I also got your car checked out, so it's all good. We do need to park it up, though.
Okay.
Wait,
Where do you wanna
it's
park it
almost,
up?
it's almost time for the meeting. Just want to head on home?
Sounds good.
Okay. Damn it, why always run out of gas? The chunk gas though when she pulls it out. Oh no, you gotta actually you better have you valet. Oh yeah, you did valet bark. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're this one you wanna have valet bark.
Yeah. I
Sorry.
ran into Gabe and Paul and Jackie.
Uh-huh.
After the meeting, they're gonna open up Benny's to get my truck.
Oh, perfect. Okay, yeah, I was ready to come back. I gotta. How about? Can you do me a favor? Give me a ride in your Rebel to grab my cheetah, and then we'll head down, man.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Let me park-
It's in the Mirror Park. Did you just want to kind of sit on the couch together and listen to the radio and listen to the meeting?
Yeah, let's sit on the couch. Do you want to do the one outside or?
Yeah, let's look over the view.
Yeah, that's my favorite spot.
Nope. It's fucking baby clips on your head. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, guys. So I'm gonna end the stream, and I'm not gonna live stream afterwards because I'm probably not gonna be in much of a streaming mood after this meeting. So, yeah, and see you guys. So, have a good night and everything. It's the fact that we're having this meeting is really ridiculous, and I'm upset with some people in this fucking community right now. I really am. I am. So, I whatever. I'm gonna bite my tongue and move forward. So, whatever.
You okay?
Don't care. They know. Oh yeah, I'm in my mind. 1 second, baby.